dried my tears with a gentle touch in life's great.
Hey, 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 welcome to Mama's Timeout, the live where we get real, get honest, and most importantly, take a break because us as moms deserve it. I'm Kenya, your host. Every week we dive into the highs and lows of motherhood, relationships, self-care, and everything in between. We are here to share, support, and remind you it's okay to take a time out. So grab you something nice to drink and a place to relax because it's time for Mama's Time Out. Let's dive in. So tonight, I wanted to keep it very simple and kind of just do a Q&A about me. So I have some questions that I'm going to answer for you guys, and you guys can feel free to ask me questions in the comments. But I want you guys to get to know me, who I am as a mom, the things that I've went through as a mom, because once we start diving into the topics, of course, you'll learn more and more about me, but I want you to know who I am, why I'm doing this, why I started this in the first place, and my passion that comes with motherhood. So the first question is, what's my name and where am I from? My name is Kenyana, as you see on my live, but everybody calls me Kenya. Where I'm from, I currently reside in Clayton County, but I always say I grew up, like, my childhood was in Florida. Like, I was born here, but like the key points of my childhood was in Florida. But my adulthood, or the majority of my life, has been here in Atlanta, but more so Clayton County. How would I describe myself in 3 words? Leader, passionate, and leader, passionate, and nurturing. Yeah, leader, passionate, and nurturing is 3 words that I would use to describe myself. What's something people don't know about me? I feel like I'm an open book. I don't know. I feel like I'm an open book. I don't feel like there's anything that I don't say or put out there. I guess some people might not know I'm a minister. I guess that's something, because that's not something that I really promote. So yeah, I'm a minister. I guess that's something people might not know about me. My biggest passion outside of motherhood, I would have to say working with kids. That is something that I've done for 14 plus years. Hi, Benita. That's something I've done for 14 plus years. And I recently just decided to come out of the childcare field because I felt like, as the song says, I was being called higher to more things, to be able to really make an impact. Hi, mommy. To be able to really make an impact. So for those that's joining on for this live for tonight, I'm kind of just answering questions about myself. You guys can feel free to comment questions that you may have or want to ask, but I'm really just doing a get to know me for this live, because as we continue with this journey of Mama's Time Out, I want the moms to know who I am and why I started this up, why I have this passion, so we have an understanding as we're moving forward. So tonight, I'm just answering some questions. Y'all can feel free to ask questions, but I'm just answering some questions. And the question we was on now is, what's my biggest passion outside of motherhood? And I was just talking about how it's children, but now I feel like I'm being called to something a little bit higher and a little bit more than just working in the childcare field. So I would say that is like my biggest passion outside of that. What inspired me to start up Smash? So for those that don't know, I have a mom's group called Smash. SMASH stands for Supportive Moms Activating Self-Confident Hearts. Hi, Pastor Dion. It says for supportive moms activating self-confident hearts. So I started that because me as a mom, I saw a community full of moms who didn't have support, who didn't have somebody to talk to, who didn't have somebody to lean on throughout my entire mom journey. I'm constantly running into moms who have felt like they had to make certain decisions because they didn't have a support team, because they don't really get a break for themselves. I once met a mom that had not had a minute, a day, a second, nothing away from her child for 2 years. 2 whole years. And I know we love our babies. We love them. We do. But it's essential for us to still take time for ourselves and remind ourselves that we're still human. And that it's okay to be human. It's okay to take time for ourselves. It's okay to have some self-care. But she wasn't having none of that. And she wasn't having none of that because she didn't have a support team for somebody to tell her that this is essential to being a mom, but to also be able to lean on somebody else. She didn't have that. So, hi Tyreek. She didn't have that. So, I created Smash to build that support team, to build one big support team for moms. So, if you don't have nobody else to lean on, you know you can lean on somebody that is in Smash. We had our first Smash conference last year and everybody was blessed. Even the vendors was blessed. Everybody walked away feeling a sense of relief. They walked away feeling a sense of inspiration. It made a difference. And that is what I'm trying to do with Smash and with Mama's Timeout. I'm trying to make a difference in the lives of moms, because if we help moms, if we help them understand their motherhood journey, if we help them have an outlet, if we help them have somebody to lean on, we will have less babies in dumpsters, less babies being beat up by the boyfriend, less moms just losing their mind and not knowing what to do or what's going on with them, because postpartum is real, but not even about 80% of moms know they're going through postpartum, because it's not a common thing that's talked about, especially in the Black community. So they're just told, push through it, you're a mom. And that's not the case. You have to deal with those things. So that's why I created Smash. Our term is, we smash whatever comes in our way. So I created Smash, supportive moms activating self-confident hearts. If you want to be a part of our Facebook page, you can just look it up, Smash, and it'll pop up, and you can become a part of the Facebook page if you want to become a part of the Facebook page. Our next question is, how old is my son? So my son his name is Ethan. Everybody knows Ethan. If you follow me, if you're on my social media, you know Ethan, you know who he is. He is 7 years old, about to be 8. I cannot believe it. Where has time gone? But he is about to be 8 years old. What was my first reaction when I found out I was going to be a mom? So I'm going to be honest. We're transparent. As I said, the live where we get real, get honest, and most importantly, take a break. I was not ready. I went through every single option. I said, if I had an abortion, I wouldn't forgive myself. I said, if I want to give him up for adoption, I got a full ride to Johnson & Wales University. I can go to college during the summertime, have the baby, be back by Thanksgiving like nothing even happened. It was all planned out. Till I went to tell my mother that I was pregnant. And when I told her, she was like, you want to have your baby. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I do want to have my baby. I do. And that was honestly, I cried. When I tell y'all I cried for days. I'm not even a high school graduate. My dad, Cried for days. Just like, what? Not knowing where I was going with this, how to feel about this, like, just all over the place. I didn't have that normal reaction of, yay, like, I wasn't even talking to the father anymore. Like, it was crazy. I don't feel like I had the best reaction. I feel like I had a natural reaction. Like, this is real life. I was 17 years old and it didn't seem ideal for me to be pregnant. Had a future. You know, I had all these things planned, but I am. And as I look back on how my life could have been, I say to myself now that if I didn't take this route, Smash wouldn't have been born. I would have never made an impact on so many lives that I made an impact on. I would have never made as many connections as I made. I would have been on a completely different route and path. And it makes me thankful because of the lives I have touched, because of the people that I have touched, because of the children I've touched. Like, these children will remember me, like, as I get older, their parents will tell them stories about me and how I set the foundation. And none of that would have happened had I sat here, had I went in the other direction. So that was my first reaction. What's been the biggest challenge in motherhood? Well, I'm a boy mom. So there's so many challenges with being a boy mom. Hi, Katrina. But I would say for me, the biggest challenge when it came to motherhood is being a single mom to a boy. Like, that's just a big challenge in itself, because a lot of the things that he does, I don't understand. We did not have boys. My brother came along as we were already older. So he was past all this boy stage. Like, we ain't been around no boys. We didn't know nothing about boys. So it's literally been a test because things happen that I don't understand. How he reacts and responds. He's in the mode now where he feeling like he got a little hair on his chest and, you know, he can talk back. He can say things that he want to say. And I'm looking at him like, you're not going to try me because I'm a woman, you know? We're going to still be respectful. But I feel like wanting him to have that fatherly figure, his father is around now, but his dad is in school. So he's not as present, like, physically as he could be. So I feel like that has been like the biggest challenge for me, is being a single mom to a boy. Because it's just certain things I cannot understand because I'm a woman. Like, I do the best that I can, but it's just certain things I cannot understand and I won't understand. So I feel like that's been the biggest challenge for me. What's been the most rewarding part of being a mom? Love, like the love. The knowing that you are imparting in this little life. Like, when my son randomly starts singing gospel music, or when they went and was staying with my granddad for a holiday break or whatever it was, and they wanted to watch the live, like they wanted to watch church on Sunday, that really like made me be like, we're really doing something right. Like, I'm doing something right as a mom, and I'm imparting these things into you, and you are taking them in. Like, even with the fact of, if somebody's having a very emotional moment, he can walk them through it. He can't walk himself through his own emotions, but he can walk them through it. It's like just those simple things. And as simple as, I've had a long day, and he'll just come in and just kiss me on my forehead. I'm like, it's okay, mommy. Or even with the fact of, I have a lot of businesses. I have a babysitting business / nannying, which is Casey's Mobile Care. I do flyers under Essential Designs by KC. I'm about to be doing trainings and childcares under EKA Expansion. I have a lot of things that I do. And if you were to ask my son, he can sit here and roll off his tongue every single thing that I do. promoting me. Like, my son being one of my biggest supporters is like the most rewarding part of being a mom. Like, it just don't get no better than that. How has being a single mom shaped your journey? I feel like a lot of lessons come with being a single mom, because you have a lot of nights by yourself, the long nights. You have a lot of decisions to make by yourself. I feel like it really shaped me to be a strong person. It really shaped me to not be as dependent on others. It really shaped that for me, because with being a single mom, I had to make a lot of the executive decisions, and I didn't have anybody. Well, I won't say I didn't have anybody, because I had my mom, I had my sister. But as far as like, hi Simone, as far as like an actual partner, I didn't have that to be able to talk to and confide in and make those decisions based off of. Me and my sister say it all the time, we're each other's co-parent. Like, the father is present, but even when Ania's dad, he stay in Alabama. So it's like they're not physically present every day or every other day. So we each other's co-parent. When we need to bounce these ideas off of, when we need to talk, like, we're each other's co-parent. So it's like, it definitely shaped the strength for sure. Because even as being a single mom, when you're having one of your toughest days, toughest moments, when you're going through heartbreak, pain, you gotta put on a smile. Because you have to show up for your child no matter what, because nobody else is going to show up for your child. So it really pushes me to my strength point. It pushed me to my strength. It pushed me to my growth to be able to say, I can do this. Like, I can do this. And I feel like that's really like how being a single mom shaped me. For those that are just now joining on, we are having Mama's Timeout. Welcome to Mama's Timeout. This is the live where we get real, get honest, and most importantly, take a break, because us as moms deserve it. I am Kenya. I will be the one that is doing this live every single week. Every single week, we will be here on live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Mama's Time Out. I want you to come and sit, grab you something to drink, a nice quiet place to sit, and let's take a time out. We will dive into the highs and lows of motherhood, relationships, self-care, and everything in between. This live, I specifically put towards just getting to know me and my journey. So y'all just don't really feel like, it's just somebody out here that's just starting this up. No, there's a reason, and I'm very intentional about the things that we're going to talk about. I'm very intentional about the people that I'm going to have on here. I'm very intentional about wanting this to be a time out for moms, for us to come on here, for us to talk, for you to be able to vent, for you to be able to let loose, whatever, to share stories, just share advice, whatever needs to be done for you to get your time out. So, but this time I'm just telling some things about me, answering some random questions that I done wrote down. You guys can feel free to ask questions as well. I'm an open book, so you guys can feel free to ask questions as well. What's something I wish I knew before becoming a mom? I wish somebody would have warned me about having a boy. Yeah, I wish somebody would have warned me about what I was getting into with being a boy mom. Because growing up, I always imagined myself being a boy mom. I imagined myself having the big SUV and putting the whole team in my car and bringing them back to the house, having all the pizza and the snacks and the video games. Like, I always imagined myself being a boy mom. But I don't think I really knew what that meant until I became a boy mom. So I wish somebody would have warned me. That's for sure. That's one of the things I wish I knew. How do I balance motherhood, work, and self-care? So for me, it's easier for me because my son goes to school. But one of the things that I said that I prioritized when we had the conference last year was being home for dinner time, being home for bedtime, being home for those things. Like with me having mama's timeout at 9 o'clock, that gives me the time to have dinner, to make sure he showers, make sure he's good, make sure he's in the bed, make sure everything is done, and then come on here and have a timeout with you guys. I try to set my time frame for at least 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, 10 o'clock to go to sleep so that I can effectively get up in the morning, because for the moms that know, they know that early get up, because they got to go to school, they got to get on the bus, so you got to drop them off. That early get up, I try to at least be in the bed by 10, which is why his bedtime is at 8:30, because that gives me an hour and a half to do what I need to do for me. And that is where my self-care time come in. That's when I clean my face. That's when I shower. I will make sure like I tidy up the house before I go to sleep. Like that's my time for myself. If I want to sit there and scroll on TikTok, I can sit there and scroll on TikTok. If I want to watch a movie or watch TV, I can watch a movie or watch TV, because he's in the bed, he's asleep, he's resting. So taking off my motherhood hat, putting on my Kenya hat, and now it's time to take care of myself and pour into myself. Now, since December of last year, I made the executive decision to not work a 9 to 5 anymore, and to really sit here and pour into me and myself and my businesses. I Uber during the day to like take care of my bills and pay my bills. But with me Ubering, it allows my schedule to be flexible like I need it to be able to pour into my businesses like I want to. Because for years, I put so much energy into other people's businesses, and their businesses grew, their businesses flourished, but mine always went on the back burner. So I made the executive decision for myself in December to give it all that I got. I was reminded that I need to do that again in January when I calculated how much money I made, and I unintentionally made over $5,000 last year off of my businesses. And I say unintentionally because I wasn't promoting myself. It would just be me literally sitting here having conversations with people, and they'll be like, oh, I'm trying to find somebody for this, and that service. And I'm like, oh, I do that. And that's literally how it would happen. I wasn't promoting myself. I wasn't putting any work into it. So I looked at myself and I said, if I can make that much without trying, imagine how much I can make if I actually try and apply myself. So that is the executive decision that I made for myself. So my schedule is a lot more flexible now. But when I did have that 9 to 5, when I did have that 8 to 6, when I did have that 7 to 6, sometimes 6 to 6, because for those that know, with working getting a childcare, you don't know what your hours are going to be. You're just going to be there. So when I did have those times, I made sure to find out what I wanted to prioritize. And what I wanted to prioritize was being home at night, being there for dinner, being there for the homework, being there for bedtime, being there for that time. That is something that I've always prioritized and that I've never put on the back burner. So I feel like with that, it's just prioritizing and allowing yourself grace. Like, okay, say, for instance, it's been a hard and long day. Kids been on 100. You're overly overstimulated. Allow yourself grace. They will be fine if they go to bed a little early. They will be fine. They will be fine if you put them to sleep a little early so that you can have a moment to reset, to get your mind together, to bring your overstimulation down, to reset yourself. It's important for you to pour into yourself, because if you don't pour into yourself, then you can't pour into your child. So it's very important for you to take that time to set those boundaries, to pour into yourself. So it's just really about prioritizing. Find out what's the priority for you. For me, it was bedtime. What is the priority for you? And then I'll put that in your schedule to find balance. Let's see. What's the next question? What's a piece of advice I'd give new moms? Sleep when the baby sleep. And take time for yourself. It's okay. I know new moms, no, nobody else can have my baby. No, it's okay. Even if you just let your mom or somebody watch them for 10 minutes while you go take a shower by yourself without feeling like you gotta keep looking out the curtain. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Like, just take 10-minute shower by yourself. Everything doesn't need to be taken care of right then and there. Allow yourself grace. Why am I on? I'm on the grace train this week. I preached about grace on Sunday, talking about grace on 3G's Tuesday at 6 o'clock today. And now I'm talking about grace again. Grace is just, I've been on the grace train this week. But allowing yourself grace. Everything cannot be done. You're in a new mom bubble. That's for one. Let me start with that. You're in a new mom bubble, and it's okay if there's 2 dishes in the sink. It's okay if you had to sleep this night and you lay in the bed the next day. It's okay. Because being a mom is hard in general, but being a new mom is extremely hard because you're learning everything for the first time. You're figuring everything out for the first time. And that would be my advice too. Do what's best for you and your child. Everybody's going to have advice. Everybody's going to have opinions, but you are the mom and you have to find out and realize what's best for you and your child and make that decision accordingly because you're their mom. So you know what's best. Those mom instincts will kick in. You just got to trust them and listen. They will kick in. So trust yourself and give yourself grace. How do I handle tough parenting days? I just told y'all to go to bed early. They go to bed early. I take a break. I send them outside. I do what I need to do. I see moms on TikTok all the time. They say when they feel like they're about to yell or they feel like they're about to fuss, they step back. They'll either go in the room, they'll go in the bathroom, whatever they'll do to calm themselves down and then come back and address the situation. Because as moms, it's so easily to get overstimulated. There's a post that I always see, and it's talking about when the husband come in, and it's like, why you always so angry? And the post says, I'm not angry. The TV is too loud. The baby been hollering all day. The toddler keep throwing stuff at me. The dishes need to be cleaned. The clothes need to be folded. Dinner needs to be fixed. All this stuff needs to be done. You're overstimulated. Your phone keep ringing. And you just need to take 5 to 10 minutes to just breathe. To just breathe. So you have to, again, prioritize yourself and give yourself grace. You don't always have to clean when the children are sleeping. Clean when they're awake. Teach them how to clean. Get them to help you. Make it a game. Make it fun. Because they've got to learn how to clean. I had to learn that too, because I'm just like, no, it's just easier if I do it. Like, I just faster, it's easier. But I'm like, no, I got to allow him to learn how to do these things. For me, for the longest time, I didn't even know my son knew how to put his own pants on. Until one day he was like, Mommy, I got it. And I was like, okay, go ahead. Do your thing. But with me just always trying to be on the go and always trying to have control and trying to keep things moving, I did not take that time to allow him to do things. So allow them to help you. Like I said, make it into a game. Who can put the most toys in the basket? Or let's count as we put each toy in the basket. Kids love games. They love to make everything fun. And if you're struggling, you can always put on Gracie Corner's cleanup song, and it's going to get everybody moving. It'll make adults want to clean up because it's just catchy, and it make you want to get up and move and do. But that's what you have to set. You have to set those boundaries. I am a parent that sets boundaries. Because in order for me to be the best parent that I can be, I have to set those boundaries. So don't be afraid to set boundaries. That's how you're going to get through those tough days. You have to set boundaries. I expressed to my son and I let him know, hi, mommy had a very long day. I love you so much, but I need a second to myself right now. That's setting healthy boundaries. That's setting for when he gets older and he's dating someone and she says, hey, babe, I've had a long day. I need a second. He's not going to get defensive and be like, no, and what do you need a second for? And what could you possibly have dealt with today? No, he's going to be like, oh, okay. Just let me know if you need anything. And I know that because that's what he does to me now. Well, just let me know if you need anything, Mom. Or he'll come and try to rub my shoulders. So it's just about setting boundaries. And what you set in those boundaries, it's going to help them in their future to understand boundaries, which is very important for them to understand. How do you support your child's learning and development? So my specialty is early childhood education. So once you get past that, I'm not lost, but I do find myself struggling right now because I guess for the ones whose kids are in school, this math don't look the same. The problems aren't solved the same. Like none of this stuff. And I already didn't like math when I was in school. So how I help is tutors. Putting it in real life circumstances because I found out that my son is able to answer if it's a real life problem. For instance, if the question is asking what's 5 cents plus 10 cents, I will tell him, Ethan, if you go to the store and you have 5 cents, but you want a piece of candy that costs 15 cents, how many more cents do you need? And he'll be able to tell me the answer to the problem. But if I just say, what's 5 cents plus 10 cents? He's going to look at me like, I don't understand. So I feel like the important thing is learning how your child learns. I'm a very hands-on learner. My son is a very hands-on learner. So learning how they learn will help you be able to help them in the best possible way through their learning and development. For parents or for moms who have early childhood children, you got to let them explore and you got to let them learn through play. But also don't be afraid to sit them down at times to get them to focus on you and with you. Don't be afraid to do that. Because I saw a post that said 2-year-olds aren't capable of sitting down or 4-year-olds aren't capable of sitting down. Coming from an early childhood person, they are. And they can sit down. And they need to sit down. Because when they get to Georgia pre-K or when they get to kindergarten, they're going to have to sit down. So it's important to practice these things at home so when they go to school, they're not having these problems. What is your go-to discipline strategies? I have the meme. I have my Miss Rachel point and my Medea point. So it just depends on where I'm at. As far as discipline, the main thing I do is I take his tablet away, no TV. Like, those are the things that I do that's consistent. But as far as everything else, it just depends on the situation. Like I said, I have my Miss Rachel point and I have my Medea point. Go with that what you will. How do you encourage your child to express their emotions? Healthy conversation. If my son comes to me, he tells me he's upset about something. Well, why are you upset? I'm upset because blah, 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 blah. Okay. Why do you think it made you upset? Because such and such said da, 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 da. Okay. So where do we go from here? Are we going to stay sad? Do we need to feel our emotions? Or do we want to find a way to feel better? Oh, well, I want to find a way to feel better. Okay, well, what can we do to help us feel better in this moment? or how can we calm ourselves down in this moment? I recently was reading a book about emotionally strong kids, and they talk about how boys in particular go from being good and cool to the Hulk in a matter of seconds when they're feeling their emotions. And one of the biggest things that he expressed is to get them to talk about it, to make them talk about it. She said that boys easily resort to the I don't know. But he said you don't allow that. You don't allow that answer. You make them think about why they're feeling what they're feeling so that they can find a way to express it to you by you keep asking questions. They tell you, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's not an answer. Let's dig down deep. Let's figure out why we're feeling the way that we're feeling. So that is one of the things that I do, but it's just sitting down and having those conversations. And I even, when he comes to me and he tells me things, I say, well, did you tell such and such that they made you feel that way? Did you express to them how they made you feel? And they're like, no. It's like, well, maybe you should tell them how they made you feel to see if you would get a different reaction or to see if something will happen differently. And that is something that he's definitely working on. We're doing a lot better, but that is the route that I'm trying to take as far as getting my child to express their emotions. What's one thing you do daily to bond with your child? I slacked up a little bit because I just recently had gallbladder surgery, had my gallbladder removed. So I slacked up a little bit, but one of the biggest things that I was doing is in the morning when I would wake him up, I take that time to hug him and help him wake up. That's something that I plan on starting back this week, but I really wasn't getting him up as much because I was on recovery and bed rest. But that is one of the things that I do. One of the other things that I started to do is asking him about his day. Telling him I love him before he gets out the car, when he gets on the bus, but just asking him about his day, asking him what happened, what he did, what he learned, and just having those conversations. I am looking for a show for me and him to start watching together. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm new to this boy mom thing, but if anybody has any suggestions, I am looking for a show for me and him to start watching together. How do I manage stress as a mom? When you figure it out, let me know. Because managing stress as a mom is hard. I feel like the biggest things that I try to do is write things down. Try to write things down, try to keep things organized, try to stay on a schedule and a routine. I feel like that is the biggest things that I do to try to keep the stress levels down. Because with having a schedule and a routine, having things prepared, it just helps me to function a lot better so I don't get stressed, so I don't get overwhelmed. Writing down the things that need to be done, writing down the events and stuff that we have going on. All of that kind of keeps me centered and less stressed. How do you handle mom guilt? I can't answer that. I haven't really experienced mom guilt. Like, not to a full extent. I feel like the closest thing I got to experiencing mom guilt is when I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks. And every time I would leave out the door, when I got back, every time I would leave out the door, my son would be like, are you going to Hawaii again? Are you going to Hawaii again? Are you going to Hawaii again? And I feel like that was the only thing, but it wasn't really mom guilt. It just made me feel sad. Hey, Dietrich. It just made me feel sad. Like, it wasn't really mom guilt. But we're going to have that in one of our topics. And I'm going to have another mom on here so we can talk about mom guilt. But I haven't really experienced mom guilt. No. Because my son, hi Paris, my son, he be needing his breaks from me too. And he takes them. And when he go with other people, he don't call me. Like, they make him call me because he won't call me. He won't call me and he won't be trying to talk to me. So yeah, I haven't experienced that. What made me start sharing my motherhood journey online? To encourage other moms to share their journeys as well. With connecting with with connecting with other moms through this program that I was a part of called Learning Spaces, and being able to share, like, some of them struggled with breastfeeding and just stopped because nobody was there to guide them on how they could get their milk flow up, on how they could continue their journey. They didn't want to stop, but they did because they didn't have that support. And I started sharing my story so that others can share their story, so that this can be helpful. That's why I said it's a group. It's really a support group for moms, honestly. But it's more of an empowerment with it. It's like to come together and to encourage others to come and share their stories as well, so we as moms can lift each other up. What is the biggest lesson I've learned as being a mompreneur? I feel like the biggest lesson I've learned is that my son sees me working hard, and he understands my hard work and supports me in my dreams. Like, it's okay to allow kids to see you working hard for something that you want, for something that you desire. It's okay for them to see that, because it makes them want to go after the things that they want. Like, my son, we had a conversation one day, and he was like, Mom, I'm not going to be a teacher, because all the teachers I know is stressed out, and I don't want to be stressed out. But he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I want a Lamborghini, I want a wife, I want 3 kids, like, just going down the line. And he was like, I want to be a lawyer, then I want to be a police officer, and just going through these things. But his constant thing is, whatever I want to be, I know I'm going to be able to be it. And he tells him, because that's you, mommy. When you want to do something and you want to be something, you go after it. And I know that I can do the same thing because you do it. And I feel like that is the biggest thing and the biggest love that I've come out with. Like, that it's okay for them to see this, because I don't be wanting him to get the negative effect of it, of just like not seeing things prosper as fast. Like, I've been trying to grow my social media platforms, and every day he's like, Mommy, have you hit 1 million followers yet? And I'm like, Mommy's only at 120 something. Like, I'm so far from 1 million, but it's okay for him to see me just keep going at it, keep posting my videos, keep going at it. And by the way, if y'all want to follow me on social media, it's Life with Kenya 99 all across the board. But it's okay for him to see me constantly going after it. Not only is it okay, him and my niece have been going on YouTube, looking me up, finding my videos, and watching them. So it's okay to show them the hard work that you're putting in, and not them just seeing the good parts of what happens. How do you stay motivated to keep going? I surround myself with motivation, not only with the people that's around me, but my social media. On my social media, all up and down, my TikTok is either full of moms, full of people who are cleaning up. Like, it's constant motivation from top to bottom. So if I ever am feeling unmotivated, I open the app, and I'm instantly motivated. Get up. Let's get going. Let's do this. You got this. Like, with me deciding to sit here and try to build my social media platforms was based off of me kept being told by these moms that I follow, stop being lazy. Get up and press record. That's all it takes, is get up and press record. You keep saying you want this. You keep saying you want that. But you got to get up and do it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. And this is how they're talking on their social media, which is motivating me to be like, yeah, I got to get up. I got to do this. I can't sit here and be lally-daisy. I just told somebody earlier that March for me is no excuses March. I have no excuses. I'm going hard for 30 days to make things happen. No excuses. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, I am tired. It's been a long day. My stomach not feeling so great from my surgery, but I told myself I'm getting on this live and we're going to have Mama's Time Out. No excuses March. And that came based off of me sitting here constantly being told, constantly getting inspiration, constantly being told, you can do this. You just got to get up and do it. You just got to get up and do it. You can do this. Just get up and do it. So that's how I stay motivated. And anytime I'm feeling unmotivated, I tell my support team, hey, like, I'm just not there today. And I have a support team. They're just like, well, what is it going to take for you to get there today? Because we're not giving up. We're not laying down. We're not being lazy. We're not going to mope in sadness. Yes, we're going to feel our feelings, but we're going to work through them. We're not just going to sit here and mope in it. So surround yourself with people that want to see you do and be better. And you will have that motivation to keep going. What's the hardest part about building my brand as a mom? I think I just like kind of explained that a little bit, but just him not really seeing me grow as fast as he feel like it's supposed to happen. I feel like that's the hardest part, because the last thing I ever want to do is look like a failure to my son. So, but I have to remind myself that it's not failure. I'm not failing. It's just a journey to get there, but I'm not failing. And it doesn't look to him like I'm failing either. He's getting motivation from what I'm doing. So I feel like that was the biggest thing, that it's not growing as fast as he would like for it, or that I would like for it, honestly. What's your favorite self-care activity? An everything shower. An everything shower with a good meal and some fresh sheets. Chef's kiss. That is my favorite self-care. Everything shower, and the moms that know what an everything shower is. An everything shower, some fresh sheets, and a nice meal is my favorite self-care activity. What's a funny moment you'll never forget? I can't think of any right now. It's so many with Ethan, though. It's so many with him. Yeah, but I can't think of any right now. I mean, when he told me that he didn't want to be a teacher, I literally started laughing. I thought that was hilarious, because he's like, yeah, you're stressed out. Grandma's stressed out. My teachers at school are stressed out. That's just not the life for me. And I told him, I said, okay. I said, you don't have to be a teacher, Ethan. You can be whatever you want to be. What's a phrase or lesson you always tell your child? That patience is the key of life, is what I always tell him. He struggles so much with patience. And I always tell him, patience is the key of life. You have to be patient on a lot of things. Like, it's never just gonna come to you. You have to be patient. Patience is the key of life. What is your dream vacation with your child? Right now, my dream vacation is, I really want to take him to Disney World. He wants to go so bad. I told him we'll probably go for his 10th birthday, but we might move it up to like his 9th birthday, or maybe even his 8th birthday. We'll see. Cause we don't know what God got planned. I ain't gonna put no limitations on him, but that is the dream vacation right now, because he literally wants to go so bad, and I want to make that happen for him. If I can describe motherhood in one word, what would it be? Strength. I truly believe that mothers are the strongest humans out here, because we literally have to be everything, and we literally carry everything on our backs, and we don't break. We may bend, but we don't break. So strength, for sure, it would be a word that I use to describe motherhood. What's a parenting hack that I swear by? I won't really say it's a parenting hack for sure, but most definitely preparing the night before makes mornings go by so much smoother. Like, really even just preparing the clothes for the week, which is another thing I want to get back into. A lot of my routine got off when I had my surgery, because I had to be on bed rest for 2 weeks. But That is another thing I want to get back into too. Ironing the clothes for the week, having it all set out, and just being able to put the clothes out the night before. It makes mornings go by so much smoother because we're not scrambling trying to find things. Everything is right here. We just got to brush our teeth, use the restroom, brush our teeth, put our clothes on, deodorant, cologne, brush the hair, and grab a snack and get ready to head out the door. It makes mornings go by so much easier. So much easier. But that is all my questions that I have for tonight. I hope that y'all know me a little better now and will come back and join me every week, Tuesday at 9 o'clock for Mama's Time Out, where again, we get real, honest, and most importantly, take a break because us moms deserve it. We dive into the highs and lows of motherhood, relationships, self-care, and everything in between. Also, just to put this disclaimer out there, if you would love to be on Mama's Time Out and come and talk about motherhood with me, you can just simply inbox me or you can text me at 404-933-9488. This platform is open to any moms. I ain't stopping no mamas from coming on here. So this platform is open. So if you want to come over here and talk about motherhood, just let me know and we can most definitely get that set up. I love all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you were able to take a time out. And I hope and pray that whatever time you're watching this, that you're able to watch it and take a time out and just decompress for at least the almost hour that we were on this live. Thank you again. Again, like I said, you guys can follow me on my other social media platforms, Life with Kenya 99. I'm going to be posting this over there on my YouTube because Facebook has this new thing where it's like they're going to delete lives after 30 days. And I need my mamas to be able to click in and still be able to go back and watch these things when they need them. So I will be posting this entire live on my YouTube if you guys want to go check that out. Or if it disappears and you want to introduce somebody to Mama's Time Out, you can most definitely do that. So I love y'all. Have a blessed night's rest.
Dried my tears with a gentle touch. In life's great race, you've taught me so much. With every step, your love